Let's take a look at order management and customer service. Specifically, I'd like to look at each of these as individual concepts and then examine the relationship between the two. There are two phases to order management. First, influencing the order is the phase where an organization attempts to change the manner by which its customers place orders. And second, the concept of order execution. This phase occurs after the organization receives the order. These two phases are related in that both phases of the order management system represent the principal means by which buyers and sellers communicate information relating to individual orders of products. Effective order management is a key to operational efficiency and customer satisfaction. To the extent that an organization conducts all activities relating to order management in a timely, accurate, and thorough manner, it follows that other areas of company activity can be similarly coordinated. In addition, both present and potential customers will take a positive view of consistent and predictable order cycle length and acceptable response times. By starting the process with an understanding of customer needs, organizations can design order management systems that will be viewed as superior to competitor firms. Customer service includes all activities that impact information flow, product flow, and cash flow between the organization and its customers. Customer service can be described as a philosophy, as performance measures, or as an activity that can be an organization-wide commitment to providing customer satisfaction through superior customer service. This view of customer service is entirely consistent with many organizations' emphasis on value management, elevates it to the strategic level within an organization, and makes it visible to top executives. Most organizations employ all three definitions of customer service in their order management focus. The figure shows one way in which order management and customer service are related. As it shows, customer service is involved in both influencing a customer's order as well as in executing the customer's order. How an organization receives an order electronically versus manually, how it fills an order, inventory policy and number and location of warehouses, and how it ships an order, mode choice, and its impact on delivery times, are all dictated by how an organization manages an order. Customer service, on the other hand, is anything that touches the customer. This includes all activities that impact information flow, product flow, and cash flow between the organization and its customers. Let's take a look at order management a little bit more closely. First, the concept of influencing the order will be presented. This is the phase where an organization attempts to change the manner by which its customers place order. And second, the concept of order execution will be discussed. This is the phase that occurs after the organization receives the order. Customer relationship management is the art and science of strategically positioning customers to improve the profitability of the organization and enhance its relationships with its customer base. The concept of CRM, however, has not been widely used in the business-to-business environment, as traditionally manufacturers and distributors are more adept at and actively involved in order execution, which involves filling and shipping what their customers order. There are 4 basic steps in the implementation of the CRM process in a business-to-business environment. Step 1. Segment the customer base by profitability. Most firms allocate direct materials, labor, and overhead costs to customers using a simple allocation criterion. However, firms today are beginning to use techniques such as activity-based costing. Step 2. Identify the product service package for each customer segment. This step presents one of the most challenging activities in the CRM process. The goal of this step is to determine what each customer segment values in its relationship with the supplier. The challenge here is how to package the value-added products and services for each customer segment. One solution is to offer the same product or service offering to each customer segment while varying the product quality or service levels. Another solution to this part of the CRM process is to vary the service offering for each customer segment. Step 3. Develop and execute the best processes. In Step 2, customer expectations were determined and set. Step 3 delivers on those expectations. Organizations many times go through elaborate processes to determine customer needs and set target performance levels, only to fail when it comes to executing on those customer promises. Step 4. Measure performance and continuously improve. The goal of CRM is to better serve the different customer segments of the supplier organization, while at the same time improving the profitability of the supplier. Once the CRM program has been implemented, it must be evaluated to determine if, number 1, the different customer segments are satisfied, number 2, the supplier's overall profitability has improved. The concept behind CRM is simple. Align the supplier's resources with its customers in a manner that increases both customer satisfaction and supplier profits. So you can see some of the differences between the two options. In option 1, we're offering the same product and service to each customer segment while varying the product quality and service levels, and the pros are that it's easy for the supplier to manage. The con is that it assumes all customer segments value the same type of supplier offering, which obviously is not necessarily true. And then option number 2, of course, varying the service offerings for each customer segment. The pro is that it meets the needs of each segment more individually, and the con is that it's a lot more difficult for the supplier to manage. Traditional cost accounting is well suited to situations where an output and an allocation process are highly correlated. Traditional cost accounting is not very effective in situations where the output is not correlated with the allocation base. This is the more likely scenario in logistics. ABC, or activity-based costing, can be defined as a methodology that measures the cost and performance of activities, resources, and cost objectives. Resources are assigned to activities, then activities are assigned to cost objectives based on their use. ABC recognizes the causal relationship of cost drivers to activities. Let's look at this relationship a little bit more closely. Traditional customer profitability analyses would start with gross sales less returns and allowances, or net sales, and subtract the cost of goods sold to arrive at a gross margin figure. Although this number might provide a general guideline for the profitability of a customer, it falls short on capturing the real costs of serving a customer. Those customers who fall into the protect segment are the most profitable, as their interaction with the shipper provides the shipper with the most cost efficiencies. Those customers who are in the danger zone segment are the least profitable and are more than likely incurring a loss for the shipper. For these customers, the shipper has 3 alternatives. Number 1, change the manner in which the customer interacts with the shipper so the customer can move to another segment. Number 2, charge the customer the actual cost of doing business. This would more than likely make the customer stop doing business with the shipper. This is usually not an acceptable strategy employed by most shippers. Or number 3, switch the customer to an alternative distribution channel. The customers who fall into the build segment have a low cost to serve and a low net sales value. The strategy here is to maintain the cost to serve but build net sales value to help drive the customer into the protect segment. Finally, the customers who are in the cost engineer segment have a high net sales value and a high cost to serve. Ordered cash, OTC, and replenishment cycles. When referring to outbound to customer shipments, the term order to cash or order cycle is typically used. The term replenishment cycle is used more frequently when referring to the acquisition of additional inventory, as in materials management. Traditionally, organizations viewed order management as all of those activities that occur from when an order is received by a seller until the product is received by the buyer, which is called the order cycle. Thirteen principal activities constitute the order to cash cycle. Let's take a look at length and variability of the order to cash cycle. While interest has traditionally focused more on the overall length of the OTC cycle, recent attention has been centered on the variability or consistency of this process. Industry practices have shown that while the absolute length of time is important, variability is in fact more important. A driving force behind the attention to OTC cycle variability is safety stock. The concept of the order cycle is used here because the focus is on the delivery of order management and customer service product to the buyer and not on the flow of cash to the supplier. If the seller is concerned only with customer service prior to shipping, as per traditional metrics, the buyer might not be satisfied and the seller might not know it because of problems occurring during the delivery process. Furthermore, the seller using traditional metrics would have no basis upon which to evaluate the extent and magnitude of the problem. The supply chain approach, focusing on measurement at the delivery level, not only provides the database to make an evaluation, but it also, and perhaps more importantly, provides an early warning of problems as they are developing.